The topic of sexual relationships between white women and black male slaves during the era of American slavery is complex and fraught with historical, social, and ethical implications. These relationships were often marked by power imbalances, coercion, and violence, although some may have involved consensual elements despite the inherent power disparity. In the oppressive heat of the American South during the antebellum period, life on a plantation was governed by rigid hierarchies and strict social codes. Amidst the daily rhythms of labor and supervision, hidden beneath the veneer of Southern gentility, were the dark secrets of relationships forged in the shadows of power and coercion. One such relationship involved Emily, the young wife of a wealthy plantation owner, and Samuel, an enslaved black man whose strength and resilience made him a key laborer on the estate. Emily's husband was frequently away on business, leaving her isolated and lonely in the grand yet stifling mansion. Her interactions with the enslaved people were typically limited and defined by the boundaries of owner and property. However, Emily found herself increasingly drawn to Samuel. His presence, marked by a quiet dignity and physical strength, contrasted sharply with the distant and often brutal demeanor of her husband. Initially, their interactions were brief and constrained by the social norms of the time, but over time, Emily began to seek out Samuel's company under the pretense of supervising the work. For Samuel, these encounters were fraught with danger. He was acutely aware of the perilous line he walked. Any hint of impropriety could lead to severe punishment or even death. Yet, he also recognized the subtle power dynamics at play and the potential for these interactions to provide him with some measure of protection or favor. One sultry summer evening, under the cover of twilight, Emily and Samuel's relationship took a forbidden turn. Alone in the stable, Emily confessed her loneliness and dissatisfaction with her life. Her words were tinged with a mix of vulnerability and authority, a stark reminder of the power she held over him. As she reached out to touch his hand, Samuel hesitated, torn between the risks and the complex emotions swirling within him. What followed was a series of secret encounters, each laden with the weight of unspoken truths and societal transgressions. For Emily, these moments offered an escape from her oppressive existence and a taste of forbidden desire. For Samuel, they were a dangerous dance of compliance and survival, each meeting a potential turning point between favor and fatal retribution. Despite the secrecy, whispers of their illicit relationship began to circulate among the other enslaved individuals on the plantation. These murmurs were tinged with a mix of resentment, concern, and curiosity. The precarious nature of Samuel's situation was a stark reminder to all of the ever-present threat of violence and retribution that defined their lives. Inevitably, their clandestine liaison was discovered. The plantation was thrown into turmoil as Emily's husband returned unexpectedly and found them together. The retribution was swift and brutal. Samuel was dragged before the other enslaved individuals as a grim warning of the consequences of crossing the racial and social boundaries. He was beaten mercilessly, his cries echoing through the plantation, a harrowing testament to the cruelty of the system. Emily, though shielded from physical harm by her race and status, faced her own set of consequences. She was shamed and ostracized by the white community, her actions deemed a profound betrayal of the social order. Her once isolated existence became one of suffocating scrutiny and whispered scandal. The legacy of their relationship left a lasting mark on the plantation. For the enslaved individuals, it was a stark reminder of the precariousness of their existence and the brutal realities of power and control. For Emily, it was a haunting reflection of the oppressive structures that dictated their lives and the fleeting, often devastating nature of their defiance.